What's up, everybody? It's Bretsky, and America is turning 250. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate that than playing on an American-owned social casino, SpinQuest.com. With all of your favorite games, live craps, bubble craps, live blackjack, there's no better place to play for free and win real cash prizes. SpinQuest.com.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's. Like the strawberry watermelon refresher, the mango pineapple refresher with popping boba, and the Sprite berry blast topped with cold foam. Who knew ice cold drinks could be so fire?
The sun's out, and so is our new drink lineup. From the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher to the Dirty Dr. Pepper. And they all pair perfectly with some fries. Refreshers contain caffeine. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.
Hi, I'm Anya Lichtarovich, and this is Somewhere on Earth, your weekly look at technology and its impact on our everyday lives. It's Tuesday, the 2nd of June, 2026. Welcome to the Global Tech Podcast. Coming up today. What if the future of robotics is soft? Inspired by nature, researchers are developing tiny liquid metal pumps that could help power a new generation of flexible robots, wearable devices, and even adaptive prosthetics. And as awareness of neurodiversity grows, so does demand for diagnosis and support. With waiting lists stretching into years in some places, we explore how technology could help improve access to assessments, personalised resources and workplace accommodations. That's Somewhere on Earth, where tech meets humanity. For decades, robots have relied on rigid components, powerful motors and bulky control systems. But the emerging field of soft robotics is taking a different approach, drawing inspiration from nature to create machines that are more adaptable, flexible, and better suited for interacting with people. One of the biggest challenges has been finding ways to power and control these soft systems without relying on large external equipment. Our guest today is helping solve that problem. Inspired by the behaviour of fluids and living organisms, she and her team have developed an ultra-small liquid metal pump that could help make soft robotics more portable, efficient and practical. The technology has potential applications ranging from wearable devices and prosthetics to future medical technologies, highlighting how engineering, biology and material science are coming together to shape the next generation of robotics. Dr. Saba Firsnier is from the University of Bristol and lead researcher on the project.
So in soft robotics, there's different mechanisms that are being used in research specifically to actuate these systems. One of the main used methods is using fluidic pressure. So we have these kind of sections of elastomers or soft made materials that are actuated when we apply a pressure, positive or negative, or even like flowing fluid inside a structure to create different colors or different kind of patterns. So these are very cool, these are all very exciting, but all of these systems usually are connected to a very big bulky compressor, usually very noisy as well. So this is where we were thinking, how can we make a system that it's all soft, that it's all integrated into a soft-bodied section, as well as the part that it's actually running the system. So that's why we try to come up with a soft pump in this case, we use liquid metal as the active component as well. Liquid metal, in this case, it's E-gain. It's made out of gallium and indium, which is not dangerous at all. So it's even like gallium, you can even hold it on your hand without any problem. And this material is very interesting because it has some properties that it's usually not coming together. So it's very fluidic, but it's very conductive at the same time. And at the same time, if you deform it, it's not going to break apart that easily. So it's basically what we're looking for.
So it's quite reliable. Now,
Yeah.
the key to this pump is that before, you mentioned the compressors, etc., they're big, they're bulky. That means the soft robotics can't move. Your pump is absolutely tiny. Tell me how you managed to create this, because obviously making things smaller actually is quite difficult, isn't it?
I had to learn new skills. I'm coming from a mechanical engineering background, so this was all new to me, making microfabrication and small, tiny channels. And that is one of the most important parts, that if we have, again, a pump that it's soft, but it's, again, big and it's bulky, it's not going to really help us in that way. So making it as small as possible, and it has space to go even smaller.
And not only is the pump really small, but it uses tiny amounts of power, doesn't it? So that's again kind of makes the portability, the movement of these soft robots potentially much more realistic.
Yes, I would say that, because there's a lot of other researchers working on creating soft pumps, and they're all very cool. But some of them are driven by high voltages, which is a bit not very comfortable for humans to maybe, let's say you're connected to a very, let's say 10 kilovolt voltage on your wearable system. So we wanted to focus on something that is even possible to drive from a AAA battery, let's say. So you have this wearable device that you're having on your body, and you can just drive it by a very simple battery, and then you're good to go. So that's one of the key advantages of this system, I would say.
And you tested it in 3 different prototypes, didn't you? Tell me why you chose those and why you created them.
So one thing that I wanted to mention, that we would like to say, this is not just a pump. This is not like just the heart of that robotic system, that it's all compact. We can work with 2 different fluids at the same time because of this kind of reciprocal kind of motion of this droplet inside the channel. So we can even create code patterns and transfer information using creating those digital code patterns that it's based on the frequency of our droplet moving. So we can maybe, let's say this is partly the brain as well. It could actually encode information into the system as well. And this also enables us to transfer chemical energy, because we can combine 2 different liquids that react together and create another way of actuating system inside the robot. So if I want to say that because of those capabilities, we wanted to demonstrate that these key factors independently in a way that it's visual enough and it's understandable enough for the reader. So the butterfly one, we wanted to demonstrate the frequency of that information pattern that we're creating in a more visual and understandable way. So the flapping of the wing was focusing on that. And then on the wearable...
So that was in butterflies. You made little kind of tiny soft robotics butterflies, yeah?
Yes. And for the wearables, because of those 3 different kind of actuation, information pattern and chemical energy actuation, and the normal hydraulic pressure and fluidic capabilities, we created a wearable glove that could apply those 3 on the user as independent and different way of stimuli for the user.
So you've got a wearable glove. What kind of practical applications could that have, or was this just for testing?
Currently, for the paper, we looked at only for can we apply different kind of feelings to the user. But those feelings, we were thinking, okay, if someone is wearing and wants to be alerted in a different ways, or like maybe even like in VR kind of situation, you want to apply different kind of feeling. You want to have that tingling on your wrist, you want to have that high pressure on your fingers, something like that, in a way that it's all done by one system and by one component.
So VR gaming, great. Other wearables, interesting for, aesthetic reasons. But what about other applications? I'm thinking very much medical here.
Again, we can move different fluids, so we can even be biologically safe to say we can have them all integrated on a lab on a chip kind of system. So these lab on a chip methods are usually driven by big pumps again. So these are like tiny channels inside very microscopic kind of environment, but they're connected again to a big system that is driving them. What if we can have all of this system as one chip, the driving fluidic system as part of the method of studying those biological components as well? So I would definitely say that's a very big part of the research avenue that could be in the future.
Like edible tablets that lab on a chip, and then it assesses you. So you don't, for instance, need to have, an endoscopy, a tube down your throat into your stomach, for instance. You just swallow a pill, or even things like smart bandages as well that could help in wound healing.
Yeah, I would definitely say that is maybe a bit futuristic, but yes, that's definitely one.
So potential use here is very exciting, but you say a little bit in the future in your last answer. How far in the future are we talking about?
I think in terms of soft robotics, getting into industry, we're not that far away. It's just to make these systems that all reliable for a very long period of time. So we've done like reliability tests and making sure the system is running for a long period of time, but they're still soft, they're still very delicate. So enabling a soft component in a very reliable way in the system, I think that's one of the key factors that it's gonna make the system much closer to end user usage.
Dr. Saba Virsnier. Now, a listener question. Thank you, Roger Rowe, for posting this on our Facebook group, Somewhere on Earth, the Global Tech Podcast. Do join if you want to be part of the conversation there. Now, Roger wrote, listening to the latest edition of SOAP, From Jet Engines to Hydrogen, I was disappointed to hear no mention of the technological challenges around using hydrogen and the research going on to overcome them. For example, its low volumetric energy density at normal pressures, its ability, thanks largely to its tiny molecular size, to leak and migrate through all the materials we currently use for transporting natural gas. That's 96% of hydrogen fuel is produced from hydrocarbons, and that we're still developing ways to stop it making metals brittle. So, I asked Dr. Kelly Manders, Regional Development Manager for Cadent, the UK's largest gas distribution network. Kelly also oversees Cadent's hydrogen transition programmes and is one of the Energy Research Accelerator's industrial partners. Now, if you listened to last week's show, Kelly was one of the guests, and she wrote back. I can't comment on the case for Iraq, but many of the other challenges posed are in hand or in fact dealt with as technological challenges. Our now mostly polyethylene network, more than 80%, is hydrogen ready and keeps the small molecules contained. We have shown we can effectively blend hydrogen into the gas network. It may have a lower calorific value, but it travels faster, hence you get more faster. In the UK, we will only have low-carbon hydrogen, so CCS-enabled or electrolytic only. National Gas has done 100% hydrogen testing on decommissioned pipes and no major effects have been seen. There are links to both Roger's and Kelly's points on our Facebook group. Please go there and comment. There'll be more discussion about the future of hydrogen as well as an energy source at East Mids Tech Week. Free tickets are available for the event that starts on June the 15th across the region.
Hey Hey everybody, Lady Luck here, and we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. Now, all summer long, I'm going to be celebrating by playing on SpinQuest.com, which is an American-owned social casino. It obviously features over 1,000 slot games and live blackjack, live craps, live bubble craps. Head on over to SpinQuest.com, get yourself a $30 coin pack for just $10.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit SpinQuest.com for more details.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.
I cashed out my entire 401k thinking someone stole my identity.
A fake email cost me my dream home after I sent my personal information to a scammer.
My AI agent wired thousands to an account I'd never seen.
When billions of people feel unsafe, that's no longer a security problem. It's an economic one. At Gen, we're building the trust layer for a more fearless planet with products and technologies from our global brands, Norton, LifeLock, Avast, and MoneyLion. See it in action at gendigital.com.
As awareness of neurodiversity grows, so does recognition that many people may need different approaches to learning, working, and accessing support. Conditions such as ADHD, dyslexia, and autism are becoming better understood, yet obtaining a formal diagnosis can still take years, leaving many individuals without the adjustments and guidance they need during critical periods of their lives. At the same time, digital technologies are beginning to reshape how support services are delivered, making assessments, resources, and specialist advice more accessible and flexible. For practitioners, technology offers new ways to reach people who might otherwise face barriers to getting help, while for individuals it can provide practical tools to navigate education, employment, and everyday life. Samantha Jeffries is an advanced specialist occupational therapist. She is working at the intersection of neurodiversity support and digital innovation, exploring how technology can help bridge gaps in access to diagnosis, personalised support and workplace accommodation in an increasingly complex world.
It's an up-and-coming kind of thing that quite a lot of people have, and quite a lot of people have the characteristics of, and it's starting to become recognised that we need different things, maybe reasonable adjustments or maybe just some slight tweaks within our environments, especially within education and workplaces, so that we can achieve our potential, really. That's the crux of it. It could be that if, like me, you crack under pressure, so you need extra time in exams, or you kind of need some coaching or mentoring to cope with that pressure. It could be that you find spelling difficult, but also it could be your memory, your concentration. There's lots of different things that neurodiversity encompasses, but there are many similarities as well between neurodiverse conditions. Another thing that I've started to look at as well is how these conditions also affect women who are perimenopausal and menopausal. So hence another area that reasonable adjustments is going to really have a really good positive impact for somebody who can co-produce with me a report so that they can advocate for their needs to be met within the workplace or education.
And it's becoming very clear that our brains often work differently. Yours is different to mine. My children's are different to mine as well, even though there are some similarities. And we, with just a few tweaks here and there, as you mentioned, we can all reach our potential. And this is great for business. This is great for education, and not only for the individual. But there is a huge problem with actually getting your diagnosis, especially in the UK where we are.
It's a massive problem, and I think that with people recognising that a diagnosis is really important, that it's going to just increase, to be honest. There's a 3 to 5 year waiting list, and that's just to get a diagnosis. That's not even the aftercare support, post-diagnosis, nothing. And to be honest, it's quite tragic because within 3 to 5 years, you can change dramatically, especially if you're a child. So you may not get the help and support that you need in order to achieve. So you might be sitting your exams, or it could be within the workplace, you're not meeting your targets. And I think that we really need to be mindful that actually that's quite a long time to wait. So I set up my business because, well, there's a big market to talk in business speak, but also it helps people to get the accommodations and the reasonable adjustments that they need just to be happy, so that they're not kind of waiting and waiting and waiting, because some of that is quite anxiety provoking in itself, and stressful. So yeah, it's there's a huge market, and quite a lot of people are making a lot of money out of it. I have a colleague, for example, who turns over £100,000 a year profit. There are big companies who offer online assessments who are making millions just from giving that diagnosis. My company is different because I offer value, one-to-one and flexible. I'm approachable, I co-produce everything, so there's it's kind of me working with the individual. And people generally leave the service I provide feeling more confident, more happy, and better able to deal with the world.
And you've already mentioned that there are online platforms, companies, particularly, you can find them easily. They come up advertised on your feeds, don't they? But you're also planning to use technology as well to help in your business, your individual approach, and to get people the right diagnosis.
Yeah, that's correct. I've realised that actually I need to get my business out there so I can reach more people. I also think that technology will help my business specifically because it means then that I can provide resources as well as that virtual assessment, as well as access to professionals. I can be clear, honest, transparent with all the information that I put on my platform. I can also do online streams and offer recordings and resources, and just it seems to be a different way of doing the whole type of therapy than it used to be, because when I first trained it was more of a hands-on, and you saw somebody within a room, or I go into people's houses, and then that's kind of how we worked. Whereas now, because of the massive demand and the wait lists, then it just makes sense to do it in a more time-efficient way for both people, actually. It saves the person, the journey, and it saves my time too. So I can help more people in a shorter space of time.
And what about app development? Are you going down that route?
Yes, I think what I would like to do is, there's nothing on the market at the moment, and there's an app that I'm testing and asking for funding for at the moment. I've titled it just simply Reasonable Adjustments, because that's kind of how somebody organises and stores their information, and it helps them to be more organised. I think having a wider platform as well with that on helps everybody be more organised, because today's world is just more complicated than it used to be. So anything that helps us organise better has got to be a winner. But you talked about big companies as well, Anya. So as I'm aware, they don't really offer that post-diagnostic support, because I'm normally picking up their pieces of somebody who's just been given a letter and that's it. And it's sometimes only one sentence, so which is kind of a bit difficult for me, because I know that they've probably done an assessment and there's lots of rich data in there, but they haven't shared that with the person. So yeah, that's something that hopefully might change, especially if I get a big audience and I can tell loads of people that actually they need to see that raw data from their assessments.
And use technology to help you and help your clients.
Yeah, I think for people to feel comfortable and to have that flexibility, that they're not going to be in a panic by the time they see a professional like myself, is going to be a lot easier, I think, for people to manage their anxieties, because there's a huge amount of anxiety with neurodiversity. And I think it's a really good approach, because you don't have to think about parking or the cost of fuel these days, so it keeps it low cost, but it also keeps it sustainable as well. We can have a conversation over a screen. And to be honest, sometimes that's just as good as when you meet face to face.
Samantha Jeffries, CEO of Specialist Neurodiversity Assessments Limited. And that's all for this edition of Somewhere on Earth, the Global Tech Podcast. Please do not forget to leave us a review on your favourite podcasting platform. And if you can, please subscribe to the Pod Extra version of the show. For just $10 a month, you get ad-free and extra soap. The production manager is Liz Tui, and I'm the editor. Until next week, bye-bye.
What's going on, everyone? It's Bluff here, and we're driving through the States in the Bluffmobile, and the best thing that we can do is play our favorite casino-style games on SpinQuest. They have over 1,000 games, including live dealer, blackjack, and craps, with tons of slots and unlimited options. You can get a $30 coin pack for just $10 for new users. Sign up today. Go to spinquest.com right now.
SpinQuest is a free-to-play social casino. Void where prohibited. Visit spinquest.com for more details.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's. Like the strawberry watermelon refresher, the mango pineapple refresher with popping boba, and the Sprite berry blast topped with cold foam. Who knew ice cold drinks could be so fire?
The sun's out, and so is our new drink lineup. From the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher to the Dirty Dr. Pepper. And they all pair perfectly with some fries. Refreshers contain caffeine. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This July 4th at Lowe's, get up to 45% off select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on a select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/8. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See Lowes.com for more details.
Visit your nearby Lowe's on Russell Branch Parkway Southeast in Leesburg.